So today with us is David from Texas. He is about to go to UT Austin, major in EE plus computer science, as well as business honor. All of them are super competitive, especially at UT Austin. So we're going to hear from David how he did it. Not only David got into UT Austin, but he was also accepted to UVA, Emory, USC, William and Mary, very, very good colleges, and with even a Monroe scholarship offered to him.
I spent my freshman and sophomore year mainly exploring like different extracurriculars since I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major in yet. And for example, like in my freshman year, I joined a broad spectrum of extracurriculars like Science Olympiad, debate, and Stuco. But I really discovered what I wanted to major in through my junior year by competing in Science Olympiad, which has like a lot of different engineering events like making airplanes, bridges, ping pong parachutes, robot cars, etc. But the event I liked the most was called detector building, where you had to build a device using like resistors, capacitors, Arduinos, etc. that can accurately measure mass. So getting this hands-on experience designing like a detector in high school in my junior year showed me how like pursuing an ECE degree is really powerful because it could help me design like complex machines similar to the ones I built in a detector building. And also I think it's worth noting that I did grow up in a family of engineers. Like my dad is a petroleum engineer and my mom is also a chemical engineer. So that kind of influenced me a little bit to go into like engineering in general. And what got me interested in business was starting an origami nonprofit with my couple of friends in my junior year summer, where we like sold origami and donated the money to charity. So that got me interested in like entrepreneurship, how to start a business, how to handle money and plan events, etc. In regard to picking my courses, like my approach to course selection was just to pick the most rigorous courses offered at my school. And following this approach, I ended up taking about 15 AP classes in total. So like, just to give you an example of like how to pick, like in my senior year, I decided to take multivariable calculus like over statistics, since multivariable is like typically seen as a more rigorous class to admissions officers. And as for the ECs, so starting in middle school, I already had like a lot of music related extracurriculars like HYS, like Houston Youth Symphony, Music of Harmony, which is like a volunteering group that goes to senior homes to play music for them, and like obviously my school orchestra. So I decided to just continue these in high school since like I was still passionate about music and still wanted to continue this extracurriculars. And as for my other ones like Science Olympiad and Folding for Good, I started Science Olympiad in my freshman year since I wanted to join like an engineering related extracurricular, and Folding for Good obviously since I wanted to experience like what it was like to have a business extracurricular and how to run a business. And as for my summer plans, so for my 9th grade summer, I decided to like continue exploring some extracurriculars that I wanted to join. And I also participated in the Kyros UI UX design internship. And in 10th grade, I prepared for the SAT through Test Masters, and I also went to the YYGS PLE, like Politics, Law, and Economics program. And for my 11th grade summer, I went to the John Locke Institute Global Affairs program, interned at a legal firm, and also prepared for my college application. So I'm mainly based off like my summer plans off of like, I wanted to do at least one summer program every summer. And I also planned my summer based on like what I had to do next year. So for example, if I had like college applications in my senior year, I decided to work on those early starting in my 11th grade summer. And since I was planning on taking the SAT in my 11th grade year, I decided to prepare like really early starting in my 10th grade summer as well. I started the whole process, starting writing my Common App essay in around early June of my 11th grade summer. And like writing this Common App essay alone took me about 40 hours, which is a lot longer than I expected because I was like, it's just a 650 word essay. Like there's no way it could take 40 hours, but it did. And anyways, I picked the third Common App essay prompt, which is like reflect on something that someone has done for you. And I picked this prompt because like my grandparents took care of me a lot when I was younger. So I had a lot of like applicable stories to tell. And for the other prompts, I just didn't really feel a personal connection. I couldn't write as much. And for me, like actually the hardest part of writing the essays was the brainstorming process, since a lot of the essay prompts were like asking big questions. Like for example, Notre Dame's prompt was like, if you had unlimited resources, how would you solve like a global issue? And obviously you need to think a lot about that. So it took me quite a lot of time to brainstorm, but after I took the time to figure out what I was going to write, like the actual writing process was quite smooth. And my advice to like upcoming seniors is like, since a lot of the supplements focus on common themes like community, like diversity, etc., the strategy I use for my supplemental essays was just like to have a few common essays. I call these like super essays, and just reuse them for every school and just edit the school specific parts. Like for example, like Rice, Notre Dame, UVA, they all had this like community essay, and I wrote about like how me and my mom and I like connected better because like we started cooking together, and this got rid of the language barrier we experienced with each other. So by having like a common super essay for all of these schools, this saved me a lot of time. So I didn't have to write like 20 different essays for every single school. Like I just had to change a few details for each like super essay to fit each school. And then another piece of advice is like, personally, I would finish your Common App essay first, since it's like I consider it the biggest essay, and I think it's like the most integral, since like my approach was just to finish the Common App essay and then start on your supplementals. And I would also take a lot of time to brainstorm your super essay topics. Like, don't be scared that like, oh, it's taking so long. Like, it's been like, I don't know, 1 or 2 months and you still haven't figured out a essay topic. I would take the time to like adequately brainstorm your essay topic and then start writing, since the writing is usually the easier part.